Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Midgard in this round 2 match for Wrath of the Gods, a $15,000 Age of Mythology tournament. In the blue color, this is our Gaia player, Kvoth. And in the red, we have got Kenz Mahfi playing as Poseidon. Now this is the first qualifier of this event, and the event itself is sponsored by Microsoft, Boyd, myself, as well as Iron Maiden. Yodessa is also helping us with the casting, and all our production assets are built by Wolf Studios for this one. Credits where credit is due. Now, Midgard is a map that has eluded the competitive scene for a while in Age of Mythology Retold, but it is a classic, and us, the hosts, being classic players ourselves, you bet we're gonna try it out. You bet. So that's gonna be super sick in my opinion. There's a lot of fish around the map, but in the initial dock area that the players are going for, there's actually not a lot. This is a kind of a blind spot here. So I have to sail out and find more fish, which makes it play more like a land map because of the delays in fishing. It's gonna be less important to have docks, but if you can somehow make it up to a higher dock count and populate the waters kind of like you would on Anatolia. Because look at this little water passage, it's very thin, right? So your dock can pretty much protect yourself there. Of course, there's other factors to it. You got the heroic age myth units like Scylla, able to cause a lot of havoc. But with Gaia now getting access to the Nereids, it's just not as scary as it once used to be. So I do think most of this will play out on land, which is also why we have so much hunting from our Gaia player. Kenz Mahfi, on the other hand, isn't hunting quite as heavily, but it's just great to see the ability to pull in the boar, making sure that you do hunt on this kind of map, even without a drop-off spot. Saving a little bit of resources right there. Oracle Hero gets made. Must really like the relic. The Task of the Iron Boar is in fact a really good relic to pick up at this point in time. You can get the hero as soon as you have your temple. And yeah, cavalry hit points for a god that will go cavalry anyways in the later stages. I love it. It's a nice stick stack. We've got the Head of Orpheus as well for some line of sight. We've got the Hestia's Har for villager train time reduction. Very powerful, but it's only 5%, so you know it adds up, but it's not immediately powerful. We got Ulr's Bow as well for a little bit of range. And now that sufficient income has been established from the sea, the players are swapping off of the hunting. Just really need that 400 food as soon as possible so you can start making military stuff in H2. And now we've got the extra docks that I was talking about. These docks will not only secure the spots, but also make it so that these fishing ships can just easily drop off here without much travel time required. Our Greeks are going up to 3 docks immediately, whereas our Atlantis are not doing that just yet. I wonder if it would have been better to just put the dock here between the 2 spots. With some walling action coming in, as well as hand axe and pickaxe. Really dirt cheap. Might as well get him. Hermes is in, Oceanus is in the exact same moment. And we've got a servant on the sea looking to do some damage potentially. However, there's no triremes. Docks are pretty much on their own. A second town center from our Greek player. Wow. That explains the lack of triremes. Is that gonna be just double Terma? Looks like it. Dude, if one of these units had just seen this. Like, there's the Oracle right here. The other TC wasn't covered. And I think Kvoth might be doing the wrong thing, but maybe there's a world where those Terma can go across the map and harass the villagers a little bit, deny this wood line somewhat. But I think by the time they reach critical mass, Kenz and Mahfi might as well just be heroic age already. And one of the big ideas here is to go for this outer gold mine and start using that as soon as possible so that you can relax your gathering at the home base and just swap some of these guys over to wood. It's gonna be a hunting party instead, which is also fine. It's definitely risky. Now, the slowdown from the Colaria plus the Terma heroes is obviously gonna get the kill against Centaurs trying to run away, and it's just one anyway. Not much you can do about it. I'm not sure I love going after the cow here. Just for a few extra steps, you could have gotten the same gather rate from chickens or turkeys that don't lose out on food anymore because they can't fatten like the cows. And the lure is a drop-off, so don't even have to build anything. Oh my god, it's a... Okay. It transforms. The Atlanteans are gonna try to take a settlement as well. And the second relic, it's the Oler's Bow for range increase, which is very important for the Terma actually. They'll kite so much better with this, oh my goodness. Although Kvoth is certainly not rushing making any more of them. More interested in the heroic age, is already getting the market going. Doesn't have a dock up here just yet, but definitely should consider it. Very shortly we should be seeing heroic queued up from him as well, but already have Aphrodite from Kvoth. Long term that will be very useful. But I do wonder, would bronze have been better? Absolutely no combat on the sea, by the way. It's a very peaceful game. Seems to be the case lately that players just build up to heroic and only fight then. Is classical fighting a little dead? Be curious what people think about that. We got Freya coming in. Halfway. And per scene is gonna be unlocked by both players as soon as possible. It's pre-queued. Got the hoplites and the prodromos. Kenzie really does not want to deal with Contarius, but you know what? He is gonna have to deal with pigs. Because those are now pigs. I was gonna say he has to care about the catapeltes, but now there's none. It's pretty good. Is that Peltas? Yep. Peltas good unit as well. Peltas and hoplite actually is so strong. It's very difficult to find your way around it because your own archers, well, they have to stay away from the Peltas. And your hoplites just beat all the melee units. You got the Kenz and Mahfi walling coming in again. Just like in the other series. It's looking pretty good. And of course the heroic standard business. We've got Poseidon's Secret, we've got Lance of Stone, which will make the Contarius raids rather cheap. The 2 trees will be in as well. Immediately spawning 4 dryads to help out. Oh, the Nereid and Scylla had an exchange in the meantime. I missed that. But yeah, this is what I was saying. The Nereid just cancels out the Scylla. really strong against naval Myth units. And if you can kite with her and just only use the abilities to fight, it's gonna be pretty easy. The Scylla just doesn't hold a candle to that. Okay, the second tree has been used as well. Now there's a ton of heavy Contarius that are cheap. They're gonna have armory upgrades. Meanwhile, the Greek army remains tiny. There's no more Prodromos, which is actually gonna be a slight bit of a problem. But some Murmillos, however, they are base Murmillos, they're not medium or anything. I'm not quite sure how our Greek player here will be able to hold on against this. Of course, in the town center's protection area, it's gonna be okay for now. But I think the Atlanteans are more than happy to break through these wooden walls. They're not particularly strong. And then this is the gold mine, the only gold mine for our Greek player. You cannot lose that. Well, there's two, but they're both outside and unprotected. There's no fortress, there's no overwhelming army. Heavy hoplites are great, but are they great enough? Oh, it's not attacking there. Great stun from the lion. The carnivora gets very quickly dispatched with, however, but our Greek players already had enough of this. Quick ceasefire to prop up the numbers a little bit. We've got heavy Prodromos in, but very few of them. And I'm a little worried that all these Contarius coming out of Kvoth are gonna be just overwhelming. Like, a piece, they only cost 51 food and 34 gold. That is dirt cheap for how strong they are. Hoplites forming a line here. They're actually holding pretty well, but will they be able to continue that? There's two birds now, and they are something that you can heal with the Caladria quite well. So putting them back and continuing to fire should be a pretty strong solution, but Hippolyta is on the case. The hoplites are getting thinned out, ladies and gentlemen, and there are plenty of Contarius left. The villagers have to pull out of here. I'm not sure there's enough Greek units to defend this push right now. In fact, if you're Kvoth, you might want to throw down the palace right here instead of there. That gold mine does not need to be secured. There's 3 town centers behind this for Kvoth. I think you can go. You go for the gold denial at this point, as Mahfi's army is just getting obliterated here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not even close anymore. Kvoth being just one of the very dominant players. Several times he's been first in the leaderboard, in ranked at least. Tournaments are a different story, but he's been first in rank for sure. Now hoplites are holding strong for now, and the town center fire is helping a lot. It would be great if he had had a fortress here though, that's for sure. Destroyers are now coming out. Tons of pre-queued technologies. Even the militia are helping, but it's just not enough. The destroyers are looking to destroy the town center. They are medium destroyers, and Kvoth just has absolutely rampaged through Kenz Mahfi's army. He's got nothing left. 200 population to 93. There's no hope left here. Even a second curse wouldn't have been possible for a long time. So there's no quick remedy to this one, I'm afraid. The Gaia economy just got to explode a little bit too much. And I'm not sure what happened to the military. We're gonna check in a moment what happened with the all resources collected. It was pretty much neck to neck. So it should have been possible for the Greek player to make more units. I'm not sure what happened. I guess the cost of the Contarius is really low. So that plays a big part. Very well done by Kvoth. That's gonna be a 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghost Lake. We've got a game 2 between these guys. Currently the score should be up 1-0. Making sure that's updating. And it should come through. There it is. Okay, in the blue color we have got Kvoth swapping over to Egyptians, now playing as ISIS. And on the other side of Ghost Lake here, we've got Kenz Mahfi playing as 4 in the red color. That's already a ton of dwarves. He's working on the dwarven armory business. He's got the copper armor coming in, which will spawn then another dwarf. That's Force whole thing that you just get catapulting early economy with the extra dwarfs that you get out of the dwarven armory whenever technology is researched. All the goats are basically in the middle on Ghost Lake. It's already been picked clean, however. It looks like quite heavily in favor of our Egyptian player who pulled a pharaoh for this job. Excellent scouting there. Yeah, with the priest, you can't build on the ice, right? You can't make an obelisk, so what are you gonna do? This is the only way. Oh, I should have been hiding this panel the whole time, shouldn't I? So much better. Now, we are gonna get obelisks, of course, but yeah, Ghost Lake is also now in the ranked pool, so watch and learn, I guess. This is a really good spawn, by the way, in particular for ISIS. Having 2 gold mines back home just means that you don't have to risk your skin going out there and pushing for that gold mine early on, whereas 4 can overwhelm you before the heroic age really kicks off for ISIS. So, you know, in a 1 gold mine map, you might have to sacrifice your Ancestors Eclipse on the defense, which is the last thing you want to do. What you want to do is have your Ancestors Eclipse in the enemy base as early as possible, hurting the villager economy, forcing them to garrison, while your guys are garrisoning, while you build a Migdol stronghold, while you use your prosperity, and all that kind of good jazz. And also, in the patch, well, 2 patches ago, the chariots got buffed, so ISIS should have quite a bit of capability here in the heroic age as soon as the heroic age units are actually out. For relics, we've got the Tower of Cestus, a little bit better bonus against Myth units for the towers, and we've got the Dwarven Calipers as well. So that's gonna be discount for siege weapons. Then we've got the blue crystal shard for increased wood and gold gather rates. The bridle of Pegasus for, well, free Pegasi. It's very useful. Just keeping vision on the gold mines and whatnot. It's really effective stuff. Copper shields are coming in for even more dwarves. No regular villagers allowed. This is the Shorty Club exclusively. Oh my god. All the shorties. Fast is coming in also. It's gonna go up against Forsetti. Which indicates no heavy cavalry play. I do wonder what it's gonna be. Whacking the chickens has got to be about the favor rewards. So Kenzie is basically interested in picking up the 4 unique technology for another additional dwarf. Lots of gold mining going on. No prosperity just yet. And the villagers are moving forward to the town center. So 2 town center play. Explains the lack of a prosperity. That will put the ISIS for a really long-term classical age here though. The Norse player is doing much the same. The temple is okay. We are looking at another peaceful game. Interesting. Multiple hearses coming up. I'll help build the settlement a little faster. You can't build it as fast as the Egyptians can, of course. I mean, that's a huge commitment here with the villagers. Good kill on the obelisk there with the berserk, so later raids can be more effective because of this, unless the obelisk gets remade, of course. Got the barracks coming in. But typically speaking, Isis is not going to go too heavy on the classical fighting, especially with Bast. Could imagine some early Sphinx raids, but I doubt that's gonna be what we're looking at. It should be just into heroic from here. Play a little greedy. Minimal X-Men for protection. But here's the problem, like the Sphinx only now is finding that there's actually nothing at home. And once you see that there's no barracks, no other production buildings, no Great Hall, then you should know that there's a town center. And he is gonna scout it, in fact, but not before this Hershey whacks the Sphinx a little bit. Or maybe not. Let's go get it, right? Yep, that's 1 bonk. 2 bonk. And that's it. Now the Hershers might be able to catch it on the way out. Oh, that's good. Love the garrison micro. The Sphinx is dead. Very nice catch by Kenz Mahfi. And now we can make the production buildings, and Kvoth will have no idea about the unit composition. This is great. But that's also the reason why you should send out your X-Men to check what's happening there. Not gonna be too many cavalry units just yet. Triple barracks. We've got an armory completed with just the 1 villager, so nothing too crazy there. Plenty of villagers on gold right now for Kvoth. Spending so many resources on these units, however. Wonder what they're gonna be looking for. I mean, it's fairly easy to keep up with that many units. Is he walling off? He really likes the walls these days. You know, the X-Men are actually quite difficult to deal with for Norse, but it's the numbers right now. The numbers are not scary. They are scary for dwarves, but a real army would be fine. And by that I mean raiding cav and throwing axe would do okay here. But if the Axeman numbers are very high and you also have some slingers in addition, now that's spooky. But this is just a small expeditionary force, nothing to concern yourself with too much. That is a lot of buildings. Kenz Mahfi, that's a lot of buildings, sir. I don't think he can make units from them all, especially if he's going heroic, which he's queuing up. Momentarily we'll have it. Pegasus is here. And now that our ISIS player also has plenty of food gathering going on, finding this back hunt was huge, by the way. I think the tower might have seen it. But yeah, Sobek is coming in for our Egyptian player. And there it is. Hammer of Thunder, I'm gonna get researched. As well as a Dwarven Blast Plate. That's also a Forsetti upgrade. Medium infantry, medium cavalry coming in. And stopping flaming weapons won't be the easiest thing, but right now the Norse army is just not that huge yet, so don't worry too much. I'll say that Locust is going to be a little bit scary to deal with until you have higher HP units with like the medium upgrades done at least. You certainly do a lot of damage. Especially when repeatedly cast when you have the favor for it. 75 favor, yes, you can already cast it a second time. No need for Ancestor's Eclipse if you can keep spamming that. I think the recast cost is 75. Yeah, there we go. Armory upgrades coming in now. I'm expecting the medium infantry stuff, spearmen and axemen need to be upgraded separately, of course. Call of Valhalla is getting done. That's gonna give back favor when your berserks die. And then it gives him some hit points as well. Of course, our Norse player is not really going to be able to recast God Powers for a very long time. You have to work super hard to get something like Flaming Weapons back. 250 favor. Sure, it's possible when you're in the late game, but before then, that Great Hall is gonna get denied. The Troll actually misses shot, but these throwing axemen are getting business done. A lot of spearmen will be dying here. Meanwhile, we've got this little raiding cavalry attack. It didn't get much done, but I mean, it's disrupting things a little bit. It's taking up Kvoth's attention, and meanwhile, more buildings can be built up here. Osiris already, wow. Okay, Kvoth is meaning business. Now, taking on the Son of Osiris will be much, much harder for our Norse player, even with flaming weapons, even with full health units. It's gonna be a while until his army is nearly as big as that of our ISIS player. Population-wise is looking good, but these are throwing axemen. So he certainly can't fight. And you can watch his army disappear in a bit when, when Locust gets triggered. Population's pretty equal. Good opportunity to use flaming weapons here, but Son of Osiris is nearly gonna be here. Good. An opportunity for Locust for sure. Oh, it's going right over the throwing axeman. It's very painful. Oh my goodness. Holy. I'm not sure the flaming weapons is doing much of anything. A few seconds left until Osiris kicks in. The double fortress doing work here, ladies and gentlemen. The Pharaoh is getting retreated so that it can come in as a Son of Osiris at full health. And the camos are getting everything done. They are slowly regenerating. The two fortresses are shooting super hard. And here we go. Son of Osiris is ready. Gets cast immediately, of course. The Gigabird is here to end the nerd. Kvoth wins. That's gonna be a 2-0. Thanks to Kenz and Mahfi for playing, but Kvoth too strong. Very well done overall. Still, Kenz and Mahfi does walk away with some points. It's not been in vain. So I'm really like where we are here. Let's see who Kvoth is going to be going up against. I'll cover that next, and then we'll swap to some replay casting. We want to thank our MetaPlace website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep the project sustainable. As we reach higher subscription goals, you are helping us cover more and more behind-the-scenes costs, such as video editing. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description, and remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.